Okay, I told you I'm going to try it. I got the muffins done for breakfast, but now I'm going to make biscuits, and I'm going to use bone broth and see how they come out. So I'm going to use a very basic old recipe because I don't want really any flavors other than butter than this. I don't want to add shortening to it this time. All right, so I'm going to use 2 cups of flour. I wanted to add a tablespoon of wheat germ into it. That's the only thing I'm adding to it. So we'll see how these come out because we're going to have these with steak today. If they come out, if they don't, I'm going to smile and say I made a boo-boo. I'm definitely going to add a tablespoon of wheat germ because I do want to cover for those B vitamins. For those of you who like white flour, a tablespoon added into stuff will not affect the flavor to it, but your body will be aware that there are B vitamins in it and it will be happy. All right. 2.5 baking. All right, they want 2.5 teaspoons of baking powder. I'll turn the oven on in a minute. 2.5 teaspoons. About 1 teaspoon of salt. As you can see, I'm going very basic on this. A teaspoon. I'm even going to use iodized salt because I don't want anything. I want to catch the full flavor of what this is going to do to this biscuit recipe. If it does anything, if it doesn't do anything to it, then man, this is another way of getting it into my family. See, they never know what I'm coming up with next. So we have the baking powder and salt, flour, and I added a tablespoon of wheat germ. Now instead of shortening, I'm using this. And they want 1/4 of a cup. So that's 4 tablespoons. Now I'm going to do a real big no-no. You're not supposed to use the knife directly on your counter. I'm letting you know I'm making a boo-boo. Because it dulls your knife. See, I'm very careful because I don't want to dull my knives. We're going to turn the oven on to 450. Okay. Now my butter is frozen, like I always have it. So I'm going to have to grater it in here. Because I'm not going to be able to break it up unless it's soft, and it's not soft. I just keep my butter in the freezer, it's just better for me. Why do I do that? It's summer. And as thin as I'm slicing it, it's going to melt. So as I do this, I make sure I rotate it because the heat of my hand will melt the butter and the weather. And I've got the oven on, so you know it's going to get hotter in here. So when you mix it up like this, it's flaky. Now I'm going to have to use a fork, I think. I usually use the other. We're going to see how this comes out. Because remember, women used whatever they could. They would even use water to make their biscuits if they didn't have any milk or cream or anything like that. They used whatever they could. So this should work. You see, I'm not handling it any more than I have to. The more you handle it, the tougher it's going to be. That's why I use a pastry cutter, but for this one, because of the kind of bowl it's in, I said I'll go ahead and do it this way. And you can see it's coming out quite nice. I know the big test is the flour of the taste. I mean, that will be the big telltale if it works or not. If it works, I'm going to use it, believe you me. Any way I can get more bone broth into my family, I know the healthier we're going to be. It'll keep arthritis, pains when you hurt yourself, aches and pains that nobody likes. The society has you convinced in old age, oh, it's something you're going to have to deal with. No, you don't have to deal with it. It's how you eat and how you've eaten in your life. If you have deteriorated the joints through diet, drinking, drugs, as you can see, it smells good. I figured the butter would go very nice with it, you know. This that you hear me pounding is actually a little bit of flour I have there, and I tap it here to keep flour on the edge so they don't stick. As you can see, they keep falling off. Let me see if I can turn you down more. Well, I don't have any place to put that. It's very light, even lighter than with the milk, believe it or not. Surprising myself. See, most people would say, well, if I don't have milk, I'll use water. I'm saying if I have bone broth, I can use that. I bet you could even, if you wanted to, even use vegetable stock. I might try that just to be extreme. Nice way of getting your vegetables in your family as well. Because you know, a lot of children do not like eating vegetables. They'll eat fruit first. I mean, this is rising beautifully with the bone broth. 3, 6, 9, 12, 13. It makes 13. And this flour extra will go into my flours for frying, because I've got some cushion flour. Cushion flour. Zip it, Sandy. You're dealing birds. Cushion flour. I keep trying to say it. I got those little birds. I'm not going to say it anymore because I'm going to say it again in flour. Anyway, I have the little birds. I'm going to sit there and I want to quarter them and fry them up like 18th century the way they would have had it. But, so I want to try that and see how it comes out with those little birds because they had smaller birds, they had smaller eggs, so they had to do things differently like that. Some of those recipes to say 12 eggs to make a pudding, and you're saying that's too much, but they had little birds, so I figured if I quarter these little birds, I can sit there and fry it up just the way they did, and in each platter, we'd each have a quarter of a bird sitting on the plate. Okay, I am going to cook these like we normally cook them. I'm not brushing them down with butter because they have butter in them. And we'll see how they come out, and I'll try one. Right now I want to try one of my muffins, but I've got to clean my mess up first. Okay, here they are. Bone broth biscuits. Oops, hold on, I have to get spatula. Let's see, I'm going to scrape them off. There's the bottom. See, they came out very nice. Now remember when I told you don't crack them like this, you have to support them and open them. How's that for a biscuit? Now we're going to try and see what bone broth biscuits taste like. They should taste quite good. You must know. Just got to cool a bit. Give it a minute. Okay. They're extremely flaky. But because I used butter, they're crunchy on the outside. There's nothing wrong with them. Nothing at all. They are very moist though. And the bone broth I used, this was lamb and duck, because that's bone broth. That was their bones I used. They're really quite good. I would recommend not using shortening. I'd recommend using Bob. Sandy, get your mouth together. Yeah, I will. Using butter when you make your biscuits. Remember, don't handle them too much or they will be heavy. Make sure that you cook them, but not over. Which my son did when he made my angel fire biscuits recipe. He left them in the oven too long. He said, I thought you were watching. I said, I'm not cooking. I'm only telling you what to do. So you never know. Okay, so listen. You take care, and I'm going to finish this up. Bye-bye.